You try to eat healthy. You've cut out the sodas, maybe even passed on the fast food. But what if I told you some of the foods you think are good for you aren't? And I'm not talking about the obvious ones. I'm talking about the stuff that shows up in your fridge every week. The things that claim to be low fat, heart healthy, natural, and made with real fruit. But here's the truth. One recent study found that with every extra serving of ultra-processed food, your risk of dying from heart disease increased by nearly 20%. That's just one more healthy item tossed into your grocery cart. See, over the past few decades, the food industry got smarter at hiding the bad stuff. Refined sugars, damaged oils, gut-wrecking chemicals, inside packages that look like they belong in a healthy lifestyle. You and we've been tricked. And here's the part that bothers me the most. These so-called healthy choices may be making it harder for you to lose weight, balance your blood sugar, reduce inflammation, or get the energy you used to have. So today I want to break this open for you. I'm going to walk you through 7 foods that show up in nearly every household I've coached over the years. And each one seems innocent, but inside, they're quietly wrecking your metabolism, digestion, and long-term health. Even better, I won't just tell you what to avoid. I'm going to give you better, safer, and simpler replacements for every single one. So grab a pen or hit save, because this is the kind of information that changes habits and changes health. Let's start with number 7. It's in almost every fridge in America. And yes, it's 100% natural. Or is it? Let's talk about fruit juice, orange juice, apple juice, grape juice. You know, the ones labeled 100% juice sitting in that big aisle of the grocery store right next to the soda. Most people think, well, I gave up Coke. I'm drinking juice now. That's got to be better, right? But here's the kicker. It's not. In fact, one study published in JAMA Network Open found that drinking just 1 glass of fruit juice per day could increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 7%. Just 1 glass. Why? Because fruit juice, no matter how natural, is still a sugar bomb. See, when you eat a whole orange, you're getting fiber. That fiber slows down how fast your body absorbs the natural sugars. But when you strip that fiber away, as you do with juice, you're left with nothing to buffer the sugar spike. And what kind of sugar is it? Fructose. Fructose can only be processed in your liver. And when you dump a load of it, say from an 8-ounce glass of juice, your liver can't keep up. So what does it do? It turns that excess into fat. Fat in your liver, fat around your waist, fat stored deep inside your belly. You might be thinking, but I drink organic juice. Same problem. Cold pressed? Still sugar heavy. Juicing removes what your body needs most, fiber, and it makes it far too easy to overconsume. Instead of sipping fruit juice each morning, eat the whole fruit. That way, you're getting not just the vitamins, but the fiber your gut and your blood sugar craves. Even better, make your own green juice from leafy veggies, cucumbers, celery. Less sugar, more nutrients. And if you need sweetness, squeeze a lemon or add a few frozen berries. Still not ready to give up juice entirely? At least make it yourself. Fresh squeezed, no preservatives, no concentrates. Because here's the truth. Instead of drinking liquid fruit, which spikes your insulin and burdens your liver, you could be eating real fruit, supporting digestion, stabilizing energy, and protecting your long-term health. Which sounds better to you? Next up, flavored yogurt. It shows up in nearly every healthy fridge. Small plastic tubs, fruit on the bottom, low fat or light on the label. But here's what most people don't realize. Many of these store-bought yogurts have more sugar per ounce than ice cream. Let that sink in. You're better off having a scoop of vanilla than a cup of blueberry yogurt with added sugar and artificial flavor. See, food companies know you're trying to make better choices, so they put health words on the label: probiotic, low fat, heart healthy. But when you read the ingredients, it's a chemical soup. Sugar's there, lots of it, but it's hidden under names like fructose, dextrose, evaporated cane juice, or fruit juice concentrate. They also sneak in artificial flavors to mimic fruit. Sometimes there's no real fruit at all. And what about the low-fat versions? They strip out the fat and add more sugar to make up for the loss in taste. Sounds like a bad trade, doesn't it? Even worse, many of these products are pasteurized to extend shelf life. That heat kills off the natural probiotics you thought you were getting. So instead of supporting your gut, you're feeding it sugar and likely growing the wrong kinds of bacteria. But here's the better way. Choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. Look for live active cultures on the label. That's where the probiotics live. Add your own toppings: berries, cinnamon, even a touch of monk fruit if you need sweetness. You want yogurt to work for you, not against you. And if you're open to trying something new, give kefir a shot. It's a fermented drink, thinner than yogurt, but packed with gut-friendly bacteria, calcium, and protein without the sugar load. Instead of spooning up a sweetened dessert pretending to be health food, try a bowl that's actually working for your digestion, not fighting it. That's how yogurt should be. Let's talk about breakfast. Granola, cereal. They're marketed as the healthy way to start your day. But in truth, most of them are nothing more than ultra-processed carb bombs. You know the kind: bright boxes with happy cartoon characters or pictures of whole grains and honeybees. Labels that say natural, organic, or heart healthy. But did you know, a report from the National Institutes of Health found that over 90% of breakfast cereals on shelves contain more sugar than the recommended limit. Some of the most popular brands, they average nearly 20 grams of sugar per serving. That's already half your daily allowance. And that's before you top it with fruit or pour sweetened almond milk over it. And let's be honest, who actually eats just one serving? The label says 3, 4 cup or 1 cup. But most of us, we grab a big bowl, fill it to the top, maybe go back for seconds. Now let's look at granola. Yes, it's often sold in the organic section. Yes, it contains oats and nuts. But flip over the label. You'll likely see sugar listed multiple times: honey, maple syrup, coconut sugar. Even natural sweeteners can stack up quickly, especially in processed form. Plus, many brands add seed oils like canola or sunflower, which are already oxidized by the time they hit your pantry. So what you thought was a high-fiber, heart-healthy breakfast is really spiking your blood sugar, feeding inflammation, and leaving you hungry 2 hours later. So what's the fix? Make your own granola. It's easier than you think. Start with a mix of raw nuts and seeds: almonds, pecans, flax, chia, sunflower. Add cinnamon. Sweeten lightly with monk fruit or stevia. You can blend it into a cereal texture or bake it into a crunchy granola with coconut oil at low heat. Want a shortcut? Look for grain-free granolas with no seed oils and less than 5 g of sugar per serving. Instead of spooning in sugar and thinking it's health, build a breakfast that actually fuels you, one that doesn't burn you out by 10 a.m. Next up, plant-based meat. Now, before you jump in, this isn't about criticizing vegetarians or vegans. If you choose that lifestyle for health or ethical reasons, I respect that. But what we need to talk about is what's actually in these meat alternatives. Because plant-based doesn't always mean healthy. In fact, many of these meat substitutes are some of the most ultra-processed foods you can find. Let me ask you, if you remove real meat, but replace it with a long list of soy protein, isolate, canola oil, artificial coloring, gums, emulsifiers, and other additives, did you really make a better choice? A recent study of over 3,000 vegetarians found that those who regularly consume plant-based meat substitutes had a 42% higher risk of depression. Why? Because these foods are heavily processed, often stripped of natural nutrition, and loaded with compounds that disrupt the gut-brain connection. They're also one of the biggest sources of genetically modified soy, which is linked to hormonal disruption, inflammation, and digestive problems. And remember, most of these products are designed to look and taste like real meat, so they need chemical help to get there. That means preservatives, flavor enhancers, texture agents. It's no longer food, it's food science. So what's the better way forward? If you're plant-based, choose whole food proteins. Think lentils, mushrooms, organic tempeh, chickpeas, walnuts. These are foods your great-grandmother would recognize. No lab coats required, and if you're eating meat, make sure it's real meat, grass-fed, pasture-raised, without antibiotics or hormones. Because instead of trading meat for a fake meat filled with synthetic compounds, why not eat real plants or real food that your body understands? Don't fall for the label, read the ingredients. Because plant-based doesn't mean clean, and your body deserves clean. Now let's talk about deli meats. You know what I'm talking about. Turkey slices, ham, roast beef, salami, even those convenient packs labeled lean sandwich meat. They seem harmless. You might even think, well, it's just protein, right? But here's what's really going on behind the scenes. Deli meats, especially those that are cured, smoked, or preserved, are classified as Group 1 carcinogens by the World Health Organization. That's the same group as tobacco. According to a WHO study, eating just 50 grams of processed meat per day, about one slice of deli ham or a single hot dog, increases your risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. 18% from one sandwich. And it gets worse. Deli meats contain nitrates and nitrites, chemical preservatives that help prevent spoilage and give them that pinkish color. Nitrites, with an I, are especially linked to prostate cancer. Nitrates, with an A, are tied to breast cancer. Then there's the sodium. One sandwich worth of deli meat can blow past your recommended salt intake for the day, raising your blood pressure and increasing your risk of stroke or heart disease. And while fat isn't the enemy when it comes from real, whole foods, fat in processed meat is often oxidized and damaged, which adds to inflammation in the body. So what's the solution? Go back to basics. Cook a batch of chicken breasts or roast a grass-fed beef roast on Sunday. Slice it thin, store it in portions, and use it just like sandwich meat, without the chemicals. And if you do buy deli meats, make sure they check these three boxes: nitrate and nitrite-free hormone, and antibiotic-free, ideally organic. Because instead of grabbing the quick option filled with cancer-linked preservatives, you could choose real food. Food that fuels you, not fights you. You deserve better than what comes in a shrink-wrapped plastic tray. Now, we need to talk about something that sneaks into almost everything: vegetable oils, canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower, safflower. They're cheap, they're everywhere, and they're marketed as heart healthy. But here's the problem. These oils are high in omega-6 fats, particularly a type called linoleic acid. Now your body does need some omega-6s, but the balance matters. Decades ago, most people consumed about a 1.1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. Today, that ratio can be 20.1 in favor of inflammation. Why? Because vegetable oils have flooded our food supply. They're used in salad dressings, sauces, frozen meals, chips, baked goods, even in some foods labeled natural or organic. But here's what most people don't realize. These oils are chemically extracted, often using high heat in solvents like hexane. That process oxidizes the fats, turning them rancid before they ever reach your kitchen. And when oxidized fats get into your body, they create free radicals. These are unstable molecules that attack your cells, especially the lining of your blood vessels. Over time, this leads to chronic inflammation, contributes to heart disease, arthritis, even cognitive decline. Let me say this clearly. You don't have a cholesterol problem. You have an oxidized oil problem. So what can you do? Stick to 4 clean fats: extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, butter, or ghee. That's it. If it's not one of those, skip it. Use olive or avocado oil for salads and low-heat cooking. Use coconut oil, butter, or ghee for higher heat. And when you buy packaged food, read the label. If you see canola, soybean, or vegetable oil, put it back. Because instead of cooking with oils that trigger inflammation and damage your arteries, you can use clean, stable fats that support your heart, brain, and joints. Small switch, big impact. Let's finish strong with number 1 on the list: protein bars. Now you might be thinking, wait, aren't those supposed to be healthy? I mean, they've got protein, right? Yes, they've got protein. But what else is packed in there? Let's take a closer look. Most store-bought protein bars are nothing more than glorified candy bars, just wrapped in gym clothes. Flip over the label and here's what you'll often find: high fructose corn syrup or multiple forms of sugar artificial sweeteners like sucralose soy protein, isolate emulsifiers like carrageenan, or polysorbate preservatives in synthetic flavors. Let's break that down. First, sugar. Some bars contain as much sugar as a Snickers, especially those sweetened with dates, honey, or natural syrups. Then you've got the artificial sweeteners. Sure, they cut calories, but studies show they disrupt your gut bacteria, increase cravings, and may even raise insulin resistance. Next, emulsifiers. These are the sticky agents that hold the bar together and give it shelf life. But they also damage the gut lining, leading to leaky gut, inflammation, and immune issues. Add in the soy proteins, which are often genetically modified and processed, and you've got a recipe for bloating, gas, and hormone disruption. Not exactly the fuel you were hoping for, is it? So what's the better option? Eat real food. A boiled egg, a handful of raw almonds or walnuts, homemade energy bites made with clean ingredients. Even a sliced apple with almond butter gives you protein, fiber, and sustained energy without the junk. You want portable? Hard-boiled eggs, jerky, or a DIY trail mix beats most bars any day. Instead of a protein bar that's causing more harm than good, why not give your body something it actually recognizes and knows how to use? Your gut will thank you. Your energy will last longer, and your cravings, they'll finally calm down. So let's take a moment to zoom out. You came here thinking you were eating healthy, and maybe like so many others, you've been doing your best. Buying fruit juice, flavored yogurt, whole grain cereals, plant-based burgers, deli meats, protein bars. But now you know. Many of those healthy foods are ultra-processed traps, loaded with sugar, chemicals, and damaged oils that silently sabotage your energy, your digestion, your weight, and even your heart. But don't feel bad. This isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. Because once you know better, you can do better. And the good news, you don't have to give up convenience, flavor, or joy to eat healthy. You just need to switch out the fakes for real food, whole ingredients, clean fats, natural proteins, stuff your grandparents would recognize. Instead of relying on processed health products that leave you frustrated and fatigued, you can eat foods that fuel you, not fight you. It's not about being perfect. It's about making one better choice at a time. And over time, those choices stack up. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 surprised you the most? Was it the yogurt, the granola, the protein bar? Leave a comment below and let me know. And if you found this helpful, if you want to keep learning the truth about what's actually helping or hurting your health, then check out this next video where I reveal 13 healthy foods you've probably been told to eat, but absolutely shouldn't. It's eye-opening, it's empowering, and it might just be the nudge you need to finally take back control of your health. You've got this. Let's keep going.